your instincts will drive you to make the right choice, to make the right decision. There's this way you must have trained your mind while playing chess that, oh, I must always go for the best. On that particular sport, you've thought about like 10 things at the same time, maybe 20 things at the same time, the approaches you could use to get your result.
Welcome to the Connected Parent Podcast. I'm your host, Saila Sissi, and today we will be answering the age-old question about chess. Is it worth it? Does it make you think better? Can it help our kids? Can it help our kids to be leaders, to be global leaders? Today I'm talking with Mr. Oyekunle Oyejide of BraveKnight Chess. So listen, let me hear your thoughts, and hopefully he helps us to answer these questions. So if you have any questions or any comments, leave them in the comment section below, and we'll be sure to respond as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. All right. So glad to have you here, Mr. Oyekunle Oyejide. I'm so excited. So let's talk about chess. Can you please introduce yourself to us?
All right. Thank you, Sai. My name is Oyekunle Oyejide. I am the CEO of BraveKnight Chess Academy, an academy that was started a few years ago in Nigeria. And we presently run services for schools, for private individuals, and we teach children chess. Of course, we do teach adults chess too, but majorly we focus on children now.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So what inspired you to start this, and why do you teach children chess?
All right. Thank you for the question. First of all, I love children. I'm a person that I love to be around children. I'm presently working as a teacher in a secondary school. So it's been part of my life all the while. So I fell in love with chess when I was in secondary school. I had finished my external exam, aspiring to get to the university. But then I found chess, and it was really inspiring, learning from chess and the beautiful things that I could get from chess that deals about life. So I felt, okay, if I can learn this at this tender age, it will be great if children can learn at even an earlier age than mine, that when I was learning, So I felt, oh, it will be great to impact the young ones with chess, the knowledge of chess, and let them be able to apply it to their life situations as they grow up. So that was just the inspiration, impacting children.
Okay, so tell me more about that. You said you learned some life skills while you were learning chess. Tell me more. What's that about?
Oh, okay. One of my favorite life skills that I learned is judgment, passing judgment
Mm.
on situations. Yeah. So in the game of chess, you are faced with several challenges, and you want to make the best decision so that you have the best result. In your mind, you could have like 1001 things running through your mind at the same time. Oh, can I do it this way, or should I use that approach? But the ability to pick the right one and be sure that this is going to give me the optimum result is what makes it excellent. So chess helps you with that. You're able to make a decision just on the spot. So that's
Oh,
it.
wow, that's amazing. And I'm sure life is full of so many decisions. And I find that oftentimes our biggest challenge is we are so afraid of making a decision that we don't make a decision. So I can see how that would be so helpful. Um, Now, you said something about like making the right decision. How will they know it's the right decision when they are whether playing the game or playing the game of life?
Okay, I love that question. Okay, I'll relate it to chess. Now, if you're playing chess, uh, a lot of things, it's more like you're brainstorming. A lot of things are going through your mind at the same time. So, you really don't want to make a mess of that particular situation. You want to get the best from it. So, your instincts will drive you to make the right choice, to make the right decision. There's this way you must have trained your mind while playing chess that, oh, I must always go for the best. On that particular sport, you've thought about like 10 things at the same time, maybe 20 things at the same time, the approaches you could use to get your result. But then you're still making the right choice out of the 20 that you've thought about. That makes you excellent in your decision making. So that's one of the things chess helps you with. So when it comes to life situations, you are able to think through a particular situation and make the right judgment, the right decision on that particular situation. Yes, chess helps with that.
Wow, you're making chess sound so amazing. Now I want to go learn like so many decisions to
Yeah.
make. So can you give an example, like in your life or in a student's life, where you use that kind of thinking when that you learned with chess in making a decision or something like that?
Oh, okay. I would say a general one would be maybe you're trying to get a particular job,
Hmm.
right? So in a situation where I'm trying to get a particular job and I have like, let's say, three offers from three different companies, and peradventure one is saying um they are giving you like 500,000. Maybe the other is saying I'm giving you 300,000, and the third one is saying maybe 100,000. But you are the one that's going to do the job, and you are the one that's going to know whether the 500,000 will be okay for you than the one of 100,000. Now it comes to decision making. You have to make uh, a lot of observations, maybe speculations. Try to do some analysis on your own to know which one works for you better. If you take the 500K job, what if at the end of the day you don't find fulfillment doing the 500K job? What if you go to work every day and you're not happy doing the work, but it's just you're doing it because of the money? The passion is not there, but you're doing it because of the money. How about fulfillment? How about you getting fulfilled in life and knowing that what you're doing it to be happy? Imagine if I'm impacting 100 children and I'm getting paid 100,000 rather than getting 500,000 and I'm not impacting anybody. You see, so it depends on you, depends on who you are, your ability to make the right decisions, ability to impact people, know what you're doing that particular thing for, not just for the money, not just for the fame, but because you want to make a difference. You want to have a lasting footprint in that particular situation. So these are some of the things that I have adopted in the past, and it has worked for me in cases where maybe I want to make a decision for a job or something. I employ this, and it works for me very well.
Wow, I really, really like that example. I really like that because you're talking about what is important to you. And so for
Yeah,
what I'm hearing is creating that impact, feeling fulfillment, doing things that last beyond you is really important for you. And
yeah,
on this podcast, we care a lot about like leadership and strategic thinking because parents are always thinking about that. So
yeah.
when a child, like when we're trying to guide our children around being strategic and being leaders, how does chess help with that?
All right. Working with children for several years has exposed me to several behaviors of these children. Children have different behavioral traits and abilities. Some can be introverts, some don't want to socialize, they just want to be on their own. Some
Mm.
just want to stay at the corner of the room, they just don't want to play or mingle with anybody. But when you bring them in contact with chess, you see that there is something we call social interaction in chess. They begin to relate with other children. You see them coming out of their shell to do things that you would wonder they wouldn't do on their own. You would be like, oh, so this kid could do something like this, this child could do something like this. So when it comes to chess, they are able to come out of that confinement and express themselves. No one. One thing that drives children is that they don't want to lose. I've seen children crying when they lose. They are always emotional like that. Even sometimes I can say they are more emotional than adults. You see them crying because they lost just one piece on the board. Look at my board. You have like several pieces on the board. But imagine if they lose the smallest one, they can cry for that. And adults will feel like, oh, this is just a small one. I can make up, do some more. But a child values that one that is losing. So they always want to be ahead of their peers. That is a trait of leadership. They always want to be sure that I'm the first, I'm leading. This person is not leading ahead of me, it's not in front of me. I just want to outwit this person, I want to outsmart this person. This brings out this leadership skill in them, and they grow up with these skills and they are able to use it in their everyday life as they grow up. Yeah.
Mm. Wow, that's so powerful. I really like how you mentioned that they're leading in a way that is unique to them. So they have different intelligences. They might be extroverted, introverted, but they figure out how to lead, regardless of their intelligence, or maybe not regardless, but maybe within that intelligence that they have, and they're learning all like the social skills and stuff. So I think that's really powerful. So at what age would you say it's good to start introducing your children to chess?
Okay. Over time, we have worked with children, so I would recommend the 5 years for a child to start learning chess. The reason is that we've tried chess with younger children, maybe age 2, age 3, age 4. At that age, we realized that they still play with the chess pieces as toys. They see them like toys. They really don't know the value. They don't know what you're trying to do. They just see them as maybe toys, maybe some form of animation or cartoon or something. They still don't really value it the way you want it. So, but it's still okay to introduce it to them at that stage, maybe in the form of animations, cartoons, and the rest. But then, learning chess, I would recommend that they start learning from the age of 5.
Okay, wow. 5 still feels kind of young to me. So for a parent who's interested in just like creating that environment for their children where they start getting those skills and stuff and learning those strategies, what are some recommendations for creating that environment at home?
Okay. So I've noticed that a lot of children are distracted by audio visuals in their house. They have TVs, they have their gadgets, their tablets, their iPads, whatever device they're using. One of the ways parents can put them in that atmosphere of chess is to have chess apps on their devices for them. Most of these children are always found on their devices. They just want to. So you can create a time for them such that, oh, this time is for chess. Even if it's a video on chess they are watching, it will help. Even if it's some kind of music or something that relates to chess, it could help. There are a lot of animations on chess that you can put there for them to start with, get their interest, make them have this passion for the game. You can't just bring something to a child. If he doesn't like it, doesn't like it. You can't force it on him. But you have to kind of develop this atmosphere for them to be able to love the game and start learning. If the foundation is destroyed, if they don't get that start very well, they might end up not liking chess. They might
Mm.
see it as a boring game. They might see it as, oh, this game is for people that are introverts or just for passing time. But then make it fun for them to start with. Don't force it on them to know it. But you are bringing it to them like, oh, this is interesting. Why not try it? You know, you create that atmosphere for them. Then another thing is that instead of making them watch TV all the time, maybe cartoons and all of that, you can give them some animation books. There are books that are animated like on chess that they are more like children friendly. So you can bring those books to them, make them go through it, sit down with them and put them through it. Don't just give it to them and leave them. You may not know what they are doing with the books, but sit down with them, show that you also have interest in this thing, and then they will follow you to also have interest in it. So I would recommend that.
Okay, so I'm hearing you say like you want to introduce it to them, introduce chess to your children in a way that will be interesting so that they don't think, oh, it's boring, or they don't think, oh, it's not for me, it's not my personality. Also, previously you mentioned that children are so competitive, they don't like to lose and stuff like that. So now I'm wondering, how can I help my child? Because I know my children are competitive. So how can I help them with this idea of I want to do well in chess or I want to do well in whatever I'm doing, but I can lose a piece. I can lose a game piece. How can I help them to kind of manage those emotions so that they don't get angry about the game and say they don't want to play anymore?
All right. So sometimes thank you for the question. Sometimes you have to play out life scenarios to them. These are children that are growing up that they are still in their formative years. Uh, their judgmental skill is not top notch at the time. Uh, their decision making still needs to be guided. So you are in the position to help them pass through that stage and overcome it. Sometimes you let them cry. It's good. Sometimes if I see a child cry, I let them cry. It's good to cry. But there will come a time that I will encourage the child such that even the child, you ordinarily by himself, will stop crying. You let them understand some things that, oh, of course, there are times you lose some, there are times you let go, there are times you win some. But then you should always let your wins be more than your losses. That's a way to encourage them. If you lose some, sometimes you go back and replan, re-strategize. You don't give up. You try to encourage them. Of course, words go a long way too. You talk to them. We are people. We are people made with words. So when you talk to someone, there's tendency the person is going to change, even if he's not going to change. But there's tendency. Children are in that stage where if you talk to them, they can easily listen, they can easily hear you, and they can relate with whatever you are saying and understand and follow suit. So these are times you can help them. If they lose sometimes, or if they win sometimes, you can encourage them with gifts. You can buy something for them. Oh, if you win the next time, I'm going to do this for you. Oh, because you lost this time. Oh, I'm going to give you one of these. Doesn't mean you're not giving him anything. Oh, I'm going to give you one. But then if you win, I'm going to give you like five things or whatever you want, I can buy for you. Imagine if you tell a child, oh, if you win your next game, whatever you want, maybe the child has been longing to get maybe a particular thing, maybe PS5, they love playing PS or something. And you tell, oh, if you win this particular game, I'm going to buy you this. Then you see, you're encouraging the child to have a winning mentality. With that, even when he's sleeping at night, he will be thinking, oh, how do I win this game? He's already planning in his mind at night towards a game he's going to play tomorrow. So you're helping them cultivate that winning mentality. You know that he's going to cry, of course, but then you're helping him to move on. You're not letting him down at that particular situation or position. You are gearing them up to do better in their next contest or competition or participation in chess. So we
Mm.
can do a lot to encourage these children in such a way.
That's amazing. I really love the idea of a winning mentality and just knowing that no matter what happens, we can still win. Whether we lose today, we can still win tomorrow. We can win the next game and things like that. I do get concerned though about children trying to, they start to feel like I'm a winner because I won, or I'm a loser because I lost, and just kind of tying their identity to things that they're doing. What are some skills you think that we can help build in our children so that they don't identify with what they're doing? So yes, it's good to have a winning mentality, but it's also good to know that you're more than just winning, or you're more than just you lost that game kind of thing. Do you have any thoughts there?
Okay. If I understand your question very well, I would answer it this way. Um, no one wants to lose. We all know that. Even adults, you don't want to lose in any way. If you're investing $5 million in a particular business, you don't want to get back $5 million. You want to get at least $5.1 million. You want to get something on it. At least it should be worth your time. So
Right.
from this childhood stage, you start inculcating some habits in them. You start helping them to grow some virtues, some life virtues that you know is going to work for them when they grow up. The Holy Book will say that train up a child in the way he should go. When he grows up, he will not depart from you. This is where it starts from. Of course, when we were growing up, we fall down sometimes and then we stand up. A baby does not start working the same day he was born. There are times when he's trying to take the first step, you're like, oh, you can do it. You're spurring the baby on. You can do it. You can do that. And then the very day he takes his first step, you're like shouting, screaming, jumping all over the place. And before you know, the baby is running. So there are times when they will fall, of course. I'm relating it to life now. There are times when they will be down. Let it happen. It's part of the growing process. It's part of the winning. If you fail sometimes, the guy that invented electricity, I think he failed several times. But he said, I only found out 99 times it didn't work. He didn't see it as failures. These were times he tried and they didn't work. But he said it was like he found out other ways it won't work. And then he found a way it will work. So if you ask him, he has the repertoire of experience of how it's going to work. He knows that if you're going this way, it's not going to work because he has tried that way. He knows that if you're going this way, it's not going to work. He has tried it. So these are the things we start building these children with. If you do this thing, you're not making it in life. Of course, it's not like you automatically or ultimately say they are not making it, but it's more like you're telling them this is not the best way to go. It's not that you're not making it, but this is not the best. There is a better way to go. There is a better way you can do this thing. There is an approach you can take to get better at this thing. So these are the things we start inculcating in these children as they grow up. And before long, at the age of 9, 10, you'll see them exhibiting some habits and you'll be like, oh, this should be something done by somebody that is like 25 years, but a 10-year-old child is already mature to do this. You'll be like surprised. You're excited. Oh, this child is growing. See, so that's it.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Like the whole idea of you can fail, but you're not a failure. Yes, you didn't get it right, but if you try again, you can get it right. And at least now you know that way didn't work. Oh, it's such a great skill to have. And I like that with chess, children can learn this skill because some of us had to learn it in real life, and it was more painful because you're just like, oh, hold on. But yeah, I really like that children can learn this through chess. So for children who are just starting, they're just learning, and for parents who are interested, do you have any like beginner friendly books or apps or anything that you would recommend?
Yes, of course. So there are several platforms online that you can expose these children to learn. One of my favorite is chess.com. It's a particular website that is children friendly. There is this aspect for kids that you can engage them with. It has uh, learning platform for them to understand chess easily. So there are other ones like Chess Kid. It's Chess Kid also has a YouTube page. I think they have a YouTube account like where you can subscribe and you can make these children learn. There are books for children. One is by Jessica. I'll Google and I think it's Jessica. That is the name of the author. It's a friendly book for children. Um, it has animated pictures in the book, and they will really be able to relate with such. You don't want to, of course, chess is wide, like it's very wide. There are notations, theoretical part of chess where you have to read and study, but you don't want to bring those to children at that early stage. So you want to give them something that they can easily see and understand, audio visuals, books that they can easily read and understand. So yeah, I mentioned two websites that you can use, chess.com, and then you can try Chess Kid also. If you go on Google, just type Chess Kid. It will bring their YouTube platform and their website. Chess.com is also one. I particularly use leechess.org because that helps me a lot. It's also good for me as an adult, but then I still use it to teach children to use sometimes. So yeah,
Hmm.
it works for them.
Okay. And we'll put the link for people as well. And
Yeah.
so as kids are mastering and they're getting better with um with chess, what would you recommend that they do as they're advancing?
Okay, so just like maths, I teach maths. If you leave maths for a period of time, you learn that you'll forget a lot of things. You see that, oh, I used to remember the quadratic formula. Now I'm missing it. I can't remember it anymore. So, but constant practice helps you to remember. And one of the ways I learn is also by teaching. If I see opportunity to teach for free, I even take it. Why? Because it helps me. You know, I said it earlier. in one of our dialogue. I said impacting people. So it comes to me that, oh, this guy is not able to pay me at this time, or maybe the parent is not able to pay me at this time. Oh, of course, that doesn't mean I'm going to write off the kid from learning. I'm still going to do it for some reasons because I know it will also help me to learn. And then it will open channels for me. So constant practice helps children to learn. You, as a parent, you have a part to play. All you need to do is help the child ensure that daily he takes a look at chess. Chess is something you have to do like daily, even if it's 15, 20, 30 minutes. Get them engaged with chess in a day. It doesn't, you don't have to do like 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. No, it gets boring when it's prolonged. Adults can do that fine, but for children, if you expose them to something for so long, a period of time within one day can become boring to them. So engage them like 15, 20, 30 minutes in a day. Okay, have you done your chess today? What have you learned? Some of our parents, what they are missing is that they don't get to ask us questions. We go to school and come back. They just feel we have learned for today. You don't ask your child, what have you learned in school today? Try to know what he has learned so that you help them, remember things that they have learned and they are not going to forget. So help them practice daily, at least 15, 20 minutes. It will help them as they advance.
Yeah. I also really like that idea of connecting with your children by just taking interest in what they're doing. So I think that's even an added benefit there. Um, and so you mentioned a lot of things online. We can go on the website, chess.com, Lee Chess, all of that. But I also see that people join teams, they go to tournaments, they do all of these things. What do you think are the benefits of that? Why don't I just learn online and just, it's so convenient?
Okay, learning online, if you're an adult and you're learning online, fine, you can cope with learning online because you can discipline yourself to learn. But a child, you leave a child online and you want him to learn without you supervising him, there is tendency that he will get deviated from what you want him to learn. He's going to go, maybe some ad will pop up, or maybe some Roblox or cartoon. Those are good at the right time. I don't say none of these are not good. They are good at the right time. But something is going to pop up that's going to distract that child. So, and you are not there to guide him to say, stay on what you are learning. So, what I can say is let them uh, uh, have a particular schedule for chess that you know they can follow, right? You have a schedule that you know they can follow. They are not distracted from that schedule. They can easily relate with it and they can come back with a feedback that, oh, this is what I have done so far. This is what I have achieved so far. It's a way of keeping track of their development. So, like I said earlier, parents have a lot of part to play in this. We're not just letting these children do this on their own, but we're going to have to engage them and follow up with them to make sure that they are getting it right. And as they grow, you'll see that it helps them generally in their life. Yeah.
Mm. And do you think that like clubs and tournaments and all
Oh,
of those like
sorry.
programs are helpful?
Yeah, I wasn't. I was going to talk on that. So tournaments are very helpful. Chess clubs are very helpful. You can get your child enrolled in a chess club if you have anyone in your locality. You can find out, check Google and see if there's anyone around you. If there is none around you, you can meet up with. I know you parents do have this circle of friends. You can talk to a friend or talk to your neighbor or someone and say, "Oh, do your kids like chess, or do you think we should introduce chess to our children?" You can come together as a team, as a club, get someone to engage the children in training and learning, and then before you know, these children are learning. You can even start a club from there. And before you know, your team, the children's club can even go for tournaments and competitions and they can win laurels. Who knows? They can even become champs. They can represent their countries in the Olympiads and all of that. So you may never say, you may never tell. I have this story of a child in US, Tanito Lua, the guy. The parents were seeking asylum in the United States because they had issues in Nigeria. The father was into printing business, and some religious people came to him and they wanted him to print some things for them, and he refused, then his life was being threatened and his family. He had to relocate to the United States. They were homeless at the time. But because of the child fell in love with chess and then he started playing. And before long, they had a house, they had a home for themselves through the true chess. It was just true chess because the child became a champion, defeated all his peers in his school, and then he got national recognition, and people started coming to their aid, and that was how they were able to get settled in the United States. So you may never know. You may just be the one starting a chess club that will help the kid in the next block. It may not even be your own child. It may be someone else's child. So all there are several benefits to participating in competitions, getting them engaged in club activities and all of that. So yeah, it works a lot. It does.
Wow, that is so powerful. And I love that phrase that even if you're starting a chess club, it might not necessarily be just for your child. You might help another person's child. And of course, anything that we can do to make the world a better place is making the whole world a better place for all of us. So that's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that story. Um, so now let's say the kids, they're going to club, they're in chess clubs, they're going to tournaments, they're in competitions, and they decide, okay, I need a coach. This child is showing a lot of really good skills. You can see potential there. What are some things that we can do to look for like signs of a good coach that can work well with our children?
Okay. So if you're looking for a coach for your child, uh, number one, you have to understand your child, his needs, the way he learns. Um, Children have different approaches to learning, so you have to be able to tailor your search for a coach in that regards. Now, if you're getting a coach, you should be able to have reviews on that coach. You should be able to have a background check on that particular person to know if he is able to work with children. In the United Kingdom, we call it safeguarding. So you have to be sure that this person does not have any criminal uh, background, especially with children. You have to be sure of their integrity. You have to make sure that they know what they are doing, and they are humans, like they are people that you can relate with. Yeah. So other thing you should check is your own budget for the coach you're looking for. Some coaches charge more than some based on maybe their rating, their exposure, and or their experience. So it depends on you. What's your budget for the coach you're hiring? Uh, then you should also be able to get feedbacks from other parents, like testimonials, to know that, oh, this person has been working with five parents for the past 5, 10 years or 3 years, and the case may be, and there has never been any issue. The children have been doing well. They have always said positive things about him. And yeah, that helps a lot. Some platforms like Super Prof Online, there are reviews on coaches and teachers where you can get to say, oh, I can see at least 10 reviews on this person, 10 testimonials. This person has been doing this for a while and is definitely doing well. So these are the things you can check.
Okay. Okay. So that makes sense. So making sure that the person is a reputable person, making sure you can afford the person, making sure that they know how to teach children because
Mhm.
children are a different breed. You can't just be like, read this book and go. So that's good to know. Um, and as we're talking, I just keep getting these thoughts in my head. Somebody might be like, okay, great, chess. Chess is fun. Chess is nice. Okay, and there was that one person who was able to go to the US with chess. But I don't want my child to get distracted from school. Why will I get them doing chess when they can be focusing on their English homework or their math homework or whatever? How would you respond to that? Because you also mentioned that you teach math.
All right. One of the benefits of chess, chess has a lot of benefits. One of the benefits of chess is the calculative aspect of it. Uh, Chess is a game of patterns, and then you have to remember a lot of things when you're playing chess. It's more like you play a particular game today, and the same game is coming forth again tomorrow in your game, in the game you're playing again. So you have to remember, oh, this is what I did some days ago or yesterday, and this was the result I got yesterday. So I'm not going to do that same thing because I want a different result. So it helps with your memory, with your patterns, recognition, ideas generation, brainstorming, critical thinking. It helps their memories to develop. So it's not affecting their education. As a matter of fact, uh, one of the United States president, the past president, endorsed chess in school program. In Armenia is one of the countries in Europe, I believe. Chess is one of the basic subjects in school. It is compulsory in school. You can Google it. They do it in school. So it doesn't affect their learning. Rather, it even helps their learning. It helps them to understand better in class. It helps them to remember things easily. It helps their calculative skills. It helps their critical thinking. They are able to know a lot of things and remember them very well. So it doesn't disturb their English language. Rather, does it disturb their mathematics? Rather, it helps. It helps them a lot to improve in their learning and in their academics. So I would recommend chess for every child that is in school. Yeah, I
Wow,
recommend it.
that's so powerful. Like brainstorming, critical thinking, memory. Like it sounds like this amazing like pill or like this amazing medicine that if you take it you become superhuman. So that's so cool. And I'm just like guessing that people are listening to this and watching this and they're saying, how can we connect with you? Like what is the best way for them to reach out with you, to reach out to you to learn more, to maybe even invest in a program with you? How would you say like the best way for them to reach you?
All right. We're we're on social media platforms. We are on Facebook. We're on Instagram. You can use our handle at BraveKnight Chess. BraveKnight. The night is spelled Anight. So BraveKnight written together. So BraveKnight Chess. That's our handle on Instagram and Facebook. You can also reach us via email, braveknightchess@gmail.com. Braveknightchess@gmail.com. So if you check online on Google, just type Brave Knight Chess Academy, you'll find more details about our platform and the things we do.
That's amazing. Are there any upcoming projects that you're excited about that maybe listeners can participate in?
Yes, we usually have summer programs. We had one previously last year. Yeah, we had in we had it in Lagos, Nigeria. That was the physical venue, and we're having another one coming up in the same venue this year. It's gonna be next month, July. It starts July 29th to August 28th. It's gonna be a 2-day event, 2 days weekly event. So it's gonna be like Mondays and Wednesdays only throughout that period of 1 month that the children are going to be on summer vacation. So I encourage parents to take advantage of that. We also have the online platform where they can learn. Your child could be in Canada, your child could be in the United Kingdom. You want them to learn because you don't have to travel all the way to Lagos, Nigeria. So you can register them online. They will participate in the online class. We usually use Zoom platform. So it's going to be like interactive for them to learn and understand chess. Take advantage of that break. Let them learn something new if they have not been exposed to chess before. Let it be a start for them. Of course, they will not become professionals in one day, but then let it be a good beginning for them, a good background. And I believe that as they participate, they are going to learn so much and develop from there.
Wow, that's so exciting to just like have an in-person chess tournament. You're learning, you're making friends. So I definitely encourage people who are in Lagos to participate. And if you're not in Lagos or you're not close by, then the virtual sessions are also amazing. You'll get to meet new people and just learn and really grow in that chess practice. So Now, I want to ask you, like, your final words. What are some things, what is some advice that you would share with parents if they are interested in it? Maybe they're a little bit nervous, they don't, all of that, they're overwhelmed. What is like your final advice that you would give to parents to help their children develop this passion for chess and benefit from all the great things that chess has to offer?
All right, thank you very much. My advice would be that you let the child participate in learning chess. One of the things we fail to do as parents is that uh, we we stop these children from expressing themselves in a lot of ways. You may not know if your child will be the next chess grandmaster or the next world best footballer, maybe see Ronaldo or Messi, if you don't let them take part in these things. Uh, don't say because of funds or because of some reasons you're not engaging them. Try as much as possible as parents to give them the best that you can. Let them participate in every activity that you know is beneficial to them as they grow up. And chess is also a vital activity that I know is beneficial to children. So I would advise that you introduce it to them early. Don't let them be like at a particular age where they are already engulfed with a lot of things at the same time that they no longer have interest in several things. When children are growing up at a particular stage, they just lose interest in a lot of things. They just want to focus on one thing. So this is the formative year where you can encourage them to learn a lot. And there is no knowledge that you gain that is lost. As they grow up, they are going to develop on those knowledge and get better at a lot of things. So I encourage parents, introduce your children to chess right now. Let them start learning. And it's just going to be testimonies all the way for them. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I want to say thank you so much for your time. This has been so informative. I've always been in love with chess, but I didn't even know all of this. So thank you so much for being on our podcast. Thank you so much for introducing us to the benefits of chess. Thank you for introducing us to BraveKnight Chess. And thank you for being passionate about the work you do. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.